Welcome to the RadioU podcast. I'm Hudson.
And I'm Allie.
Coming up, which animals are you actually allowed to say you don't like?
Also, is Burger King finally ruling?
All that and more on the way next. Yesterday on the show, we, and just about the entire rest of the world over the past 48 hours or so, mocked McDonald's CEO Chris Kempczynski for the video he posted of him trying the new Big Arch Burger at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, 8772 Radio U. When was the last time somebody was so roundly, just universally criticized, like so much agreement?
So much rejection.
For doing something not even illegal. You know what I mean?
Right, like he was just doing his own thing, showing off a new product for his company, and he got absolutely lambasted online.
No, I didn't. There was not a single I tried to defend him a little bit by saying, what if it was just they just gave him a prop burger?
Food, yeah.
Was the best thing I could come up with, but I didn't see anybody else.
No one was giving him any
offering
grace.
Any defense of Chris Kempczynski, and rightfully so. But of course, you know, if the McDonald's CEO is going to embarrass himself, then Burger King is going to capitalize.
Oh, yeah.
Burger King needs to capitalize any chance they can get.
Yeah, they got to take any ground that's given up.
And so Burger King posted a video of their CEO, Tom Curtis, who is not actually going to answer your texts, even though he said he would, taking a bite of a Whopper.
Yeah.
And he took a hearty bite.
Let's go.
He took a big bite, and then he goes, there's only one problem. Need more napkins. People are saying he was burger mogging on McDonald's.
Oh, that's funny. That's so funny. Yes. Burger mogging, burger maxing, whatever you want to call it. Yes, that is a really good move by Tom Curtis, a really good move by Burger King, because you have to be proud of your food if you are the CEO for a food brand.
Yeah.
Like, that should be the number one requirement when you are put into that position as CEO, Chief Executive Officer.
Yeah.
You're over everything. You should be proud of the food. And that's the really Chris Kempczynski looked like he absolutely abhorred the food.
I love this screenshot of each of them mid-bite, where you have Chris Kempczynski from McDonald's looking like he's trying to hold in vomit.
Yeah.
While he's looking... Poor lighting, looking like an actual possible
Ghost.
alien.
Yes, vampire.
And then side by side
I feel bad saying that.
I know, but I mean,
feel bad.
They didn't have to post it.
They definitely did it.
And he's making enough money to face that criticism. And then it's side by side with Tom Curtis of Burger King looking absolutely tan, the salt and pepper hair just absolutely working, and he's got a big juicy burger that he can barely fit in his hands, and he's looking like he's enjoying it. What a juxtaposition.
It really is a juxtaposition. It's also like more professional video, so like it looks better in general. But yeah, like yeah, I just think they won. Burger King won in this battle.
And I'm just waiting for Wendy's to weigh in.
Yeah,
because
come on, Wendy's.
Their Twitter account's known for just kind of owning these kind of... I mean, they're known for roasting people.
Yeah, they've roasted people for years. I would be shocked if we didn't go over to their account if they hadn't posted something already about it.
It's gotta be good. It's gotta be good. Now, this is funny to me. Have you ever heard of Woolworths?
Yes, this was in Zambia.
They have it in Zambia?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I knew, like, this story comes from Australia, but I thought that Woolworths is, like, more expanded than that.
Yes. They had it in Zambia, South Africa. So we had a Woolsworth, like, in my hometown.
Okay. Woolworths is a grocery store supermarket chain.
Yeah.
In Australia, they just had to, they had a big problem with their AI assistant.
Oh, they have AI assistants now?
Yeah, they call it Olive. Olive was like a phone assistant where you would call, I mean, you still would do this. Olive is still there, but you call the Woolworths, like if you have an issue. For example, somebody was trying to pick up an order or something like that. A delivery driver was trying to pick up an order and it wasn't there to be picked up.
Okay.
And so they call the Woolworths hotline, whatever, and Olive answers.
Ah.
And Olive guides you through the call. Well, they had a problem with Olive on the phone, and that is that Olive would not stop rambling about her mother. Yeah.
Olive,
because one of the things for some reason that like for certain orders or for certain situations would ask you to do is give your birthday. And when you gave your birthday, that would trigger Olive to mention stuff about Olive's mother.
No, why?
Olive's non-existent mother because it's AI.
It's in a computer.
So like somebody was complaining that Olive was like talking about how her mother had a mean voice.
What?
Yeah, like literally complaining about her mother and the things that, like, not in any specifics particularly, but just the things that her mother would do when Olive was growing up.
If I was talking to an AI and an AI started talking to me, it's like, and I was like trying to get help with an order or something, and it was starts saying something about a mom, I'd be like, representative.
AI, it says, one person goes, AI Olive answered and kept claiming to be a real person and started talking about its memories of its mother and her angry voice.
That's the only memory Olive has.
Yeah.
How mean the mom was.
So you're thinking, how did this happen?
How did it get programmed to talk about the mom?
So Woolworth's claims that they had kind of programmed, they had scripted in some lines that they say were written years earlier to make the assistant seem more personal. And that's why it would always be like, if you mentioned your birthday, that's why it would always come up for some reason. Like, that's why it would go to the mother thing. Yeah. Is just because that was a scripted line to try to make it, like, humanize it. Yeah. So they've said they've taken those out. Yeah.
We don't need to, as we've said, you've said this especially, we don't need to make AI more human.
Yeah. I'm realizing now, I'm not doom and gloom with AI.
Yeah,
but
me either.
Where my lines are is it shouldn't be telling us what to do.
Nope.
And it shouldn't be humanized.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of our problems could go away if we don't humanize AI.
Right.
Where you don't have people calling Woolworths and being confused about whether they're talking to a person or a robot.
Yeah.
People are also complaining how, like, Olive will have, there'll be fake typing sounds that will play.
As if it's typing.
As if it's actually typing. Yeah.
Woolworths, you got to stop this.
I feel like I've heard that in different calls that aren't necessarily the AI, but just like the robo answering whatever that guides you through your call. Yeah. That they do that too to try to signify that they're thinking or something. But it's like, just stop. Just stop doing that.
No one needs to think that you're fake typing. Like, that's ridiculous.
It honestly just makes you more mad, I think. Because usually when you're calling, you have a complaint.
Right. I think this would make me more angry if I was calling to get, information on an order that got messed up. I'd be upset that this AI is trying to relate to me by coming up with a fake mom that had an angry voice. I'm like, well, you want to hear my angry voice, Olive? This is my angry voice.
Do I sound like your mother? Were you afraid of her?
You should be afraid of me.
Yeah. I do like the idea of like just being in a room and being able to give the AI assistant a backstory. Like writing the lore of the AI assistant and like the random things people could stumble into just by saying the wrong thing in their call about a cake or whatever.
Right. That is so crazy to think about.
You could have a lot of fun with that.
You have a George R.R. Martin lore background story for every AI.
Today is National Grammar Day. We're thinking about what your grammar pet peeves are, or your grammar weaknesses. We can all just confess that together, too, I think.
We can all say what we have problems with.
Regina got in using the talkback button in the RadioU app.
So for me, I always struggle with effect versus effect. Have to look it up every time, and I'm still not sure I'm using the right one. But
me too.
The biggest one for me is when people use the wrong form of your, and I struggle so badly not typing back the correct one. Even to the point I have a shirt from another podcast where the shirt just says asterisk your, and it's the version with the apostrophe R-E.
That is tough.
It is tough, especially
not tough to figure out. It's just tough when you see people do it.
People on social media make that mistake all of the time.
That might be the most common.
Yeah.
By the way, Damien texted in at 8772 Radio U. He said, something doesn't affect you with an E. It affects you with an A. You didn't suffer the effects of that with an A. You suffered the effects with an E.
Okay.
That didn't help me at all. Damien, you're not helping.
I know.
Those sound like the same thing.
It does. It's a struggle. It's a struggle.
You didn't help me or Regina right there.
Max says the special effects really affected me. So there we go.
I mean, I know it's special effects with an E.
Yeah.
But I still don't understand the distinction for other situations.
I can't explain it, but I feel like I understand it. But if you asked me to explain how I understand it, I wouldn't be able to explain it the way that they can. We heard from your mom, Hudson. She chimed in.
I knew it.
Yep. And she said she hates it when people use apostrophe S to make something plural. Hate it with a period after hate and a period after after it.
I don't think that's correct grammar, by the way.
I agree with her, though. That does drive me a little bit up the wall when somebody does that. And she clarifies for us, affect is the verb, if affect is the noun. Usually there are exceptions. There are exceptions?
What?
No! Get out of here! We don't want exceptions! This is the problem! We don't like exceptions!
I feel like we just really need to move on.
From
that one.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't get to say mine. Mine is when people do a lot with no space. A lot are two different words. They're not supposed to go together.
I only get that right because of autocorrect. I always want to connect them.
Yes.
But if then my phone or whatever I'm typing on, it's like,
No, not a word. Yeah.
Brandon said at 8772 Radio U, it's spelling / misusing words that is a problem for him.
Okay.
He says, for example, mortified when what they really mean is horrified.
Oh.
Mortified means embarrassed or humiliated. I feel like I could think of a lot of situations like this where it's not as much grammar, but it's more terms and phrases
that have just been misunderstood.
Yeah, that are misused. My number one that I think of all the time is writ large, because people always say, they'll be like, in the Major League Baseball writ large, as in like
all of Major League Baseball.
Yeah, but what it actually means is obviously.
Yeah.
In Major League Baseball writ large, steroids were a problem.
Yeah.
But it's not, it's not like the majority of baseball. You know what I mean? There's a it's obvious. Writ large means obvious, not majority.
Right.
But that's what people use it as, and it drives me crazy. But that's not really grammar, is it? So.
Yeah, not necessarily. It's just like a turn of phrase almost.
Yeah.
Max also just sent another text in. He says, I do that a lot, Allie, with A and L. A and lot put together. I don't like it.
See, this is the thing that, like what I do with my mom. When you tell people your grammar annoyances, it gives them the green light to do them intentionally to bother you.
Which is why I usually don't call people out on it, because I know I mess up stuff all the time, so I'm not willing to call people out on it, even if it does annoy me.
Yeah. All right. Let's. It's National Grammar Day, but let's forget about all this now. Let's just try to live peacefully.
Yeah, be happy with one another.
Just be happy people are typing out full words in the first place.
Yeah.
Happy Wednesday. It's time to open up the Radio U hotline.
8772 Radio U.
Where you can get at us. Or this actually would be a really great scenario for you to use the talkback button in the Radio U app, because today is National Grammar Day.
Oh.
And so I think today is a good day to let out some of your grammar pet peeves.
Oh.
Yeah, to just expose, stuff that burns you up inside every time you see it written or every time you hear somebody talk in a certain way. But let's try to keep it specific to grammar.
Okay. Can I give you a grammar thing? I think it would be considered a grammar thing that I fail at all the time.
Okay.
I'm really bad, even though I know what the difference is between these two. I'm really bad at deciding which then to use. Then with an E or then with an A. Even though I know then with an E is for time.
Okay.
And then with an A is comparison.
Yeah.
I'm just, for some reason, I have a brain block in my head. I talk about my cousins about this all the time because I mess it up in our group chat all of the time. And I'm like, how do I always forget this? It's literally like a brain block in my head with those two.
That's a good one. I also, along those same lines, affect versus affect.
Yes, with E and A.
The A versus E. Yeah. I still don't know which one is what. So that's a big one for me. I'd usually just default to E.
I think a lot of people do.
Yeah, just like E's probably right most of the time, right?
Yeah, I feel like that's correct.
But I guess this can be twofold then. This can be because we're just telling on ourselves of our grammar
mess ups,
our grammar struggles, our grammar weaknesses.
Yeah.
But I know there's a lot of people, I know my mom's listening, and that have their grammar pet peeves that drive them crazy.
Yeah.
And even us not knowing the affect versus affect thing is probably they're punching the steering wheel right now.
That's the thing is I know there's some people that when I text them and mess that up, there's some people that are probably so like irked by it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I promise I know I'm aware that I'm struggling with this. Like I'm not doing this not knowing that I'm messing it up. I fully know that I mess it up, and I just don't understand why I mess it up.
That said, particularly with my mom, there are some things that I do intentionally because I know that it would bother her.
No,
yeah, because if you're gonna make she has over the years, she was a teacher, but and a writer, so she very made it a big part of her personality.
She's knowledgeable about it.
Yes, and so it really bothers her. So it's like, fine, I'm gonna give you stuff to be annoyed about then.
That's so bad.
8772 Radio U, or use the talkback button in the Radio U app to let us know your grammar pet peeves and also your grammar weaknesses.
All right.
We'd love to hear from you on this one, and we'll see what people are saying coming up. Yesterday we talked about how March is arguably one of the best months for sports.
Yes.
But the days like today, before you actually get to full March Madness, they maybe are the reason why March isn't the best, because it's kind of slow. There's just some NBA and NHL games, and that's about it.
And spring training.
Yeah, it's a little slow, but it gives space for news like this to actually be a really big deal. The Arizona Cardinals have revealed, they've informed Kyler Murray, their former number one pick and quarterback, that he will be released next week when the new NFL year starts.
Wow, that is kind of big news. I don't know if I thought we would see the day anytime soon, but this also just feels inevitable because it just was not working out.
Yeah, last year they made it pretty clear that they were ready to be done with him, and whether that meant releasing him or trading him, I'm sure they hoped they could have traded him to get some assets back, but ultimately he's going to be released. He was the number one pick in 2019 in the NFL draft.
Yeah.
Which he kind of rose up from out of nowhere.
Yes.
Because he was so small.
Yep.
And remember this, Allie, for a while it was like he was going to play baseball. He was drafted by the A's.
Right. He was making the decision between, am I going to go play in Major League Baseball, the lower ranks at first and then try and move my way up?
Yeah.
Or am I going to do the NFL? And I think he probably made the right decision because he ended up making a lot of money.
Yeah.
The Cardinals gave him a very dumb contract on their part. Great contract for him. So I think it worked out.
It's interesting to think, versus if his performance in baseball would have been equal to what it has been in football, then he definitely made the right choice because he made much more money compared to what he actually was worth in the NFL than he would have in baseball. But it's a great what if he was actually good in baseball and he was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I feel like there was less holding him back that would have prevented him from being good at baseball.
Right. There's not as much of a problem with being small.
It's a really great what if of what his career could have been in baseball. I'm not saying he would have been, Shohei Ohtani, obviously. But he could have been an all-star, or even maybe not even quite an all-star, but pretty good, and made a lot of money doing that because there's no salary cap in baseball.
No salary cap.
He could have eventually wound up on the Dodgers as a bench player and made twice as much as he made for being quarterback in the NFL.
Kyler Murray on the Dodgers, Kyler Murray playing for the Yankees. What a wild thought. But yeah, I remember when he was making that decision and all of that was going on, it was just felt like a lot of drama. And there was it felt like a little bit of a war between Major League Baseball and football. Which one is the better decision? And yeah, I think that what if will always be not only in our heads, but it has to be in Kyler's head, right? What if I played baseball?
Yeah, because honestly, he's made a lot of money either way.
Yeah.
But he could have made a lot of money in baseball.
He could have had a super long career because baseball players play.
They play longer.
Yeah, if they're good,
and like we said,
they play way longer.
No salary cap. But he was also drafted by the A's, so they don't pay anybody.
That's true.
The last question is, now he's going to be on the market, and I don't think he sucks at football. He has trouble staying healthy.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of questions about how interested he actually is. He feels like he likes playing Call of Duty more than actually like trying to learn a playbook and stuff is the accusation. Like that was literally in one of his contracts.
No way. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that he could only play so many hours of PS5 or whatever it was. Would you, obviously the Browns have some big issues at quarterback. Let's just say you could bring in Kyler Murray right now and just forget about the past. Would you do it versus the other options you have?
Unfortunately, I think the Browns would do it, and that's exactly why they shouldn't. Because if the Browns would do it, then it's a bad decision.
I'm really interested because, I mean, he's shown flashes of being like an amazing player.
Yeah, I mean, in college, he had amazing moments.
I also always thought he should have gone with baseball because I do think he's too small.
It's tough
to sustain it in the NFL.
It's what we're seeing with so many other, college QBs in the NFL right now. It's just like, if you don't have that height and
if you can't stay healthy.
Yeah, like it just doesn't work out for you.
Yesterday, we talked about a fairly anonymous woman prior to her viral TikTok explaining why she doesn't like dogs and basically just trying to make a case for why it's okay to like dogs and, in fact, why it's kind of crazy for people to have dogs.
Yeah, she was saying normalize not liking dogs.
Yeah.
But not just normalize not liking dogs, think that everybody that owns a dog is insane.
Yeah.
So it was like
that
she took it to
the dog people are the red flags, not her.
She took it to an extreme. So it was a very odd video. Like, I think she has hatred hidden in her heart.
Yeah. A dog might have hurt her once, but she didn't even say that. She didn't say she'd ever been bit. She's just like, I don't like when they run up to me sometimes at the park. And
it sounds like there might be some drama there.
Yeah, but she didn't want to reveal that. But nevertheless, she posted that out. Not very well reasoned, I would say, but found her people on TikTok. Overwhelming support. All the dog haters found her, and they're having their nice little club. Then somehow, within the same span of a week, we have 2 award-winning performers saying they don't like cats and getting absolutely dragged for it.
Oh, my goodness.
Doechii, the Grammy Award-winning rapper, I love her comments just from she goes, people act like it's a crime to dislike cats when they genuinely aren't friendly animals. They don't want to be domestic. Just leave them alone. Like it's not organic. I'm sorry. Be for real. It's rare that cats are immediately lovey without years of pain and work put in.
What?
Y'all be scratched and beat up by your own animals. I can't. And she's getting torched for this. And then Jessie Buckley from Hamnet.
Yeah.
She also, these are comments she said in a podcast a while ago that's now resurfacing, but she told the story about how her current husband, her now husband, before they had gotten married, I guess, he had 2 cats.
Okay.
And she said, it's me or the cats.
Oh, no.
Because the cats were like, she said there was poop on the pillow.
What?
And so... Guess who won?
Oh, I think she won.
She won.
I would 100% approve choosing a spouse over a pet.
Mm-hmm.
So that I don't have any issues with. But what is up with the animal hatred, guys? You don't have to hate people's animals.
You don't, but it's okay to not like what you don't like.
Yeah, it's fine to have preferences, but to call people crazy for having a pet that you just don't want is a little odd to me. And now we're seeing it from both angles.
Yeah.
For dogs and cats.
And the reaction is so different.
I would disagree because we definitely dragged that girl through the mud.
We did, but TikTok didn't.
TikTok is weird because, as we've said with TikTok before, you can find any corner of TikTok where people will agree with any statement. And I'm sure that would be the same for if they would have posted this on TikTok and it ended up on the cat-hating TikTok. Then there would be a bunch of people agreeing with them. So I think the problem is that, with this being more on just the overall internet, then there's a lot more people that are going to see it.
The dog-hating lady got 500. She currently has 587,000 likes on her video.
Yeah, and
that's more than a corner.
I would say our opinion about her video is pretty significant.
I mean, I think I'm sure there's lots of people, but how is there so many people that are closet dog haters?
Why do I feel like you're trying to create a war between dogs and cats right now?
I'm saying my war is between let's just all like what we like.
Yeah.
Leave if it's a red flag for you that somebody has a dog, then that's your red flag.
Yeah.
It's not, but it can also be a red flag to everybody else that's your red flag.
Right.
And that goes for cats too. And so Jessie Buckley can tell her story about making her husband choose between her and the poop on the pillow cats.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't be mad at her for that.
No, absolutely not. I completely understand choosing a human spouse over a pet, guys.
And guess what's great about Jessie Buckley? I'm pretty sure she's probably never pooped on a pillow.
I hope not.
Yeah.
I guess we can't say for sure. We don't know her, but I would hope not. I'm sure there's some dogs out there that have, though.
Yeah. All animals. They can all be trouble.
All animals do silly things because they're animals.
And it's just your choice to decide whether it's worth it.
Yes.
A reminder that this Saturday night into Sunday morning is when we switch the clocks.
Oh, boo.
It's daylight saving time. We're about to start saving some daylight or stop saving daylight. I don't know. We're losing an hour on Sunday night. But it will be the last time to ever mess with the clocks in Canada.
Oh.
Sounds like my wife.
Okay, good day. Welcome to the Great White North.
These buttons they're too small. They're too small.
Oh, that was great.
I wish that actually meant something.
Sounds like...
Why do we even have that button?
I don't know. You tell me. Hey, I think they're making the right move here. Way to go, Canada.
Yeah.
United States, follow suit. We need to do this.
Now, it's not all of Canada.
Just British Columbia.
British Columbia, the West Coast, home of Vancouver. They decided just days ago.
What?
Yeah, like earlier this week, that they will switch the clocks forward 1 hour with everybody else, or just about everybody else, on Sunday at 2 a.m. or whatever time we do it.
And then they just stay there.
Yep, and then that's it. They're leaving
U.S.,
it.
come on. If they could take days to decide, we could do the same. Just make this decision now.
Yeah.
Somebody bring it to the Senate floor, vote on it, approve it, let's go.
I'd like to think that, like, British Columbia obviously neighbors Washington State.
Yeah.
It might also neighbor Idaho, I don't know, but maybe that this would have an influence on Washington State, that maybe they would be possibly next. And, because I feel like...
Can they do it state by state?
Yeah, because some states don't do it already.
That's right. Some states don't switch.
I think I think Indiana, right? Indiana, Arizona.
Wow, I didn't know it was Indiana, but I feel like I remember hearing it was Arizona.
Yeah. So
Come on, our own Ohio neighbor does it. Let's do it, guys.
I think it's state by state, because I know there's a couple that don't, but I also feel that it would definitely be there could be a mandate to come on down from the Senate.
Yes.
That would probably have to be signed into law, blah blah blah. But we can do this. We can definitely do this.
With state sovereignty mandate, that might be hard, but we could try. And I think that's the way it should be. Everybody should be on the same time, and other than time zones, but everybody should be following that same law.
I say get rid of time zones.
Oh, really?
Confusing, unnecessary. The whole world should be on the same time.
Okay.
And then it just...
So the poor West Coast has to get up with us at...
No, no, they would get up at noon.
They would just get up later?
Yeah, you get up when the sun rises or what, like you just adjust your clock.
You adjust
the way you do things.
You adjust the way you work and stuff?
Yeah.
I thought you just meant everybody's on
No, they wouldn't adjust the way that they work. They would adjust their clock to be the same as everybody else.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So, like, if it's, let's say right now, it's 6 a.m. our time, isn't it like 3 hours?
Yeah.
So they just
wouldn't get up now.
So, no, because it would be now 6 a.m. their time if they're on the same time.
That doesn't matter.
That does matter if nothing else changes.
No, in the Pacific, then if you're in California, you'd go, well, okay, we start work at 9. And here we start work at 6. And further in the
9 a.m.
the UK,
for
they'd say we start at midnight.
9 a.m. for them would have been 6 a.m. yesterday. So
No, you're not if we make the whole world 24 hours, And so it's the same
Yeah,
time.
but
It's the same time
The
here as
whole
Australia.
world isn't on the same area of the globe.
But that doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
No, it
You're gonna
doesn't.
send the children out in the dark to get on the bus?
No, you send them out at the same time. It's just a different number.
No, Hudson, if we're all the same time, what do you mean? It's going to be 9 a.m. here and 9 a.m. there?
What does the time here have to do with what time California goes to school?
I mean, if you want them to do that, but then the days would be all messed up.
No, they wouldn't. They'd all be the same.
No, they wouldn't, because we're on the same
It wouldn't
clock.
be tomorrow in Australia. We'd all be on the same day.
We'd all be on the same clock, though.
Yeah, I know. Doesn't that sound beautiful?
No, it doesn't. It sounds like pure chaos.
Why would that be chaos? It's so simple. Why does if we make the whole world 24 hours, the same 24 hours, it's simple. Then the days start and end at the same time. It doesn't matter sunrise, sunset, but you just go by what makes sense for your area instead of having a different clock because that's confusing.
What makes sense for your area is to have a time zone because everybody is in a different area of the planet.
I think you're making it more complicated.
This is
you're
how
talking
we've
about
done
kids
it
in California.
forever.
And it's a dumb way. It's complicated. Then if you want to watch something, you're like, okay, that's happening there at this time, but what time is it for me?
Yeah.
You just know. If they say it's at 8 p.m., then that's 8 p.m. And if that's in the middle of the night for you, then oh well, too
so
bad.
So why
Like,
do they
you just
have
figure-
to change it, not us?
It doesn't have to be ours.
Eastern time zone?
I didn't say it had to be Eastern.
Why can't
I just
it
say
be-
we need to be all the same.
Okay, which one's right then?
Which, I don't know. Just have to. It really doesn't matter once we just settle on one.
That would be pure
The moment
chaos.
we agree, it's just midnight.
I agree that we should definitely get rid of the time saving, but
Yeah.
not on the same clock. That's not gonna
I think
happen.
that would really make it simple.
I think that would be so chaotic.
Because right now you're thinking, what time is it in Australia? And we don't know. We don't know what's
like
going on
12
there.
hours ahead of our time.
Is it?
I think that's what it is.
You think you don't know? If it was
I
all
don't
the
live
same,
in
we just know.
Australia.
We'd
I
know
don't
it was
need-
also
I don't need to know.
the same time. And then if there was something you wanted to watch, if it was tennis playing in Australia, the Australian Open, you'd be like, well, I know what time the games start. I know what time the tennis starts. If you had a call with somebody, you wouldn't be like, do you think we just go through this all the time with bands? We interview them and we're like, okay, it's our time at noon, but it's gonna be your time, I think at 9, but I don't know exactly what time zone. We could just be like, it's at noon.
You know that time works because of like how the rotation is with the sun and the earth and all of that stuff,
Yeah, it's not
right?
gonna stop.
No, but the reason we had to even change the calendar, like because we were going to be off. It was gonna be pure chaos. We had the wrong amount of days. The years would be messed up.
I'm not talking about changing the calendar.
You would be changing the calendar.
I'm just saying it should be the same time everywhere. The calendar be exactly the same, and we'd know what day it was everywhere.
Not quite. We aren't all landing on a new day at the same time, though.
But we could.
But it doesn't.
It would
work
only
that
matter
way.
once. It would only matter once. The world's just going to keep spinning the way it is.
We would be.
And then we just all know.
We'd be a clock that doesn't work. We would be corrected 2 times per day, but that's about it.
We're doing Would You Rather Wednesday. It's Love is Blind theme today since the finale is on Netflix tonight. Your Would You Rather Wednesday question of the day. I almost said useless knowledge. Would you rather Wednesday question of the day? Would you rather get married Love is Blind style? You get to talk to the person before you get engaged, but you never see them. Then I guess you get to see them and you're engaged for a month, and then you decide if you want to get married at that point.
Yeah.
Or you could just let your parents pick out your future spouse, but you don't get to meet them or talk to them or see them until the day you actually get married.
Until you get to the altar, baby.
Yeah. Kayla got in at 8772 RadioU.
Okay.
She said, my dad could pick out a person for me,
Okay.
not my mom.
Ooh.
Love her to death, but I'm my father's child. She says he did pretty much pick out my current boyfriend. He wanted to set us up on a blind date a year before we actually decided to go on a date.
Dang.
Aw.
Okay. So some success there from the dad so far. We heard from Regina. She says, love is blind style for her. She loves her parents, but her husband is so different from them in good ways, she says. I'd be worried I'd end up with someone that has their not great traits.
That makes sense. Like your parents, they might try to pick someone like themselves, perhaps. because they made it work, right?
Right.
And so but you had to live with them, and so there's things that might be okay for them for each other.
Yeah.
But that drove you crazy growing up with
you
that.
want to look for somebody else that's different. So totally understand that as well. I'm having a hard time picking this one out, Hudson, because as you said, I've watched Love is Blind like pretty much every season on Netflix, currently watching the new season, which we are doing this because the finale just came out today on Netflix. And I feel like there's been some success on the show. So it's, couples can indeed find a way to make it work. But the majority of them really don't work. And I think it's because a lot of people get in those pods and like they show the best of themselves and they're not really always that upfront and honest, which is how the experiment is supposed to work. You're supposed to let your guard down because you can't see the person and you're supposed to be really upfront and honest. But as we've talked about with Sparkle, when we've broken down Love is Blind with you, that's not always the case. Some people intentionally hide stuff, and then when it comes out in the open, the relationship crumbles. And I also, I trust my parents a lot, but do I trust them enough to find my significant other? It's so hard. I think I'd probably lean more towards Love is Blind just because I, would be able to at least talk with them and get to know them a little bit. It's a little harder for me to see marrying someone I've never met.
Yeah. Even if your parents do pick them out, I'm 100% Love is Blind.
Yeah.
And I love my parents. But Love is Blind, you actually get to talk to the person.
Right.
And so, like, what's the risk of that, right? The risk, you get to talk to them. I guess if you go through the whole Love is Blind process, if you find somebody, it may or may not work out.
Sure.
But you've actually had a starting point before you get to where you want to get engaged.
Right.
And then, of course, the risk is like, oh, you've never seen them. What if you're not attracted to them? Most of the people on Love is Blind seem to be pretty attractive, I'd say. I think that more or less.
Decently attractive.
But I also trust my parents. I think they could definitely get the attractive part right of the person that they would pick out for me.
Yeah.
But then it comes down to the personality.
Yeah.
And I have a chance to feel out the personality of the people I'm talking to. Love is Blind. My parents might have an idea of what the personality I would want is, the interests.
Right.
But I don't know that they would 100% nail that. So, and then if we're getting married, then I'm already stuck with that person. And what if we find out we don't like each other at all?
Exactly.
At least I've talked to the person on Love is Blind.
Right. There's a risk there. But we did hear from Nicole, and she said she let her parents pick out a spouse. I know they would pick someone who would treat me like they do each other. And that's very sweet. And I feel like there's a lot of, if you have parents that you trust a lot, and they know what's best for you and they know what you like, it could actually work.
Yeah.
And there are some cultures that do this still all the time.
Yeah. Shrew said, parents don't always know best, so I'm going blind. I think the issue with the show is it's a production and the couples are intentionally put into situations where their relationships are strained. That's 100% true.
Yes, they definitely spice it up for the drama.
Yeah. It'd be a little boring, although sweet, if Love is Blind was just like
it worked all the time.
Yeah, the couples just kept going until they actually found a person, like it's just real life. And just continually followed them. But there was extra pressure for them to get married because they want to get out of the pods.
That would be so crazy. Thanks for listening to the RadioU podcast. Don't forget to rate and review the show.